The vaccine rollout in Gauteng is intensifying with more sites opening. Long queues have all but disappeared, and some sites are seeing very few people going to get the jab. Messages are now doing the rounds, telling people where they can go to skip the lines. Let me take you to eNCA's Nqobile Madlala, who is tracking that story and joining us now for an update. She is, of course, tracking the visit to various sites by the Premier of Gauteng, that is David Makhura, to try and re-energize the vaccine rollout. I saw a picture on social media from one of the officials from the Gauteng government, Nqobile, and they were showing a site, I think it was in Alberton, where it was completely empty. These scenes contrast sharply with what we were seeing a few weeks ago when the 35-year-olds to 49-year-olds were first allowed to come through for vaccinations. What exactly is Premier Makhura doing today to try and re-energize the vaccination program?
When you are vaccinated,
well, Celeste, where we are, things are very different. In fact, I'm just going to step out of the picture. These are some of the people that are also here with the Premier, but there's some people that are already vaccinating in the site. And we saw the Premier just doing a walkabout, looking at the facilities in the area already. And he was just speaking about the fact that it's very important to vaccinate. He's saying that they are going to have outreach programs, which is going to be focusing now on certain issues because they're seeing that some people are not vaccinating, but he's saying that they're going to be ramping that up. He's saying, though, that there are some areas that they have seen a decrease in terms of vaccination, but they are seeing more and more people, and they are looking to encourage them in terms of what will happen if they vaccinate. In fact, I just want to walk towards the Premier now and speak to him with regards to what is going on in the province. Premier, I just want to steal you away from there.
This over the next few months ahead of Christmas. We want to vaccinate more people ahead of Christmas.
Sorry, I just want to steal you there, Premier, because I know you were waiting for us, but we just want to know, Premier, with regards to what you have done, you were talking about the fact that people need to vaccinate. What is the state of vaccination rollouts in the province, and are we seeing people visiting the numbers, or are numbers dwindling?
Well, we have administered 2.3 million vaccinations in Gauteng province so far. Exactly 1 million vaccinations in the city of Johannesburg, and this is a great milestone for us, and that's why we are in Johannesburg today. But I must tell you that we still have a very long way to go. We have only, in Johannesburg alone, we have only reached 53% of the 60 plus category, those who are 60 years and above. We need to reach 80% of those before they are always our starting point, because they are vulnerable. So what are we doing to do that? We are ramping up. We are doing various ramping up activities, including pop-up vaccine sites, mobile sites, drive-through sites, and mass vaccination sites across the province. Last week we were focusing on Tshwane, Sidibeng and the West Rand. We are also focusing on the sectors of the economy.
Of course, talking about that,
to make sure that we target where we know these are high-density communities and high-density economic areas. We want to reach all those by opening more vaccination sites. But we also want to open for the 18 years and above, 18 to 34. We also want, many of them are arriving at our vaccination sites and they say they are ready.
All right, and talking about being ready, I just want to find out, Premier, are you worried about the numbers? Because you were talking about the fact that there's some areas that have been empty or perhaps didn't have that much foot traffic. Are you worried about the numbers of people that are vaccinating at this point at all?
Yes, in the last 7 days, including the last weekend, the report we have been getting and the visits we did ourselves, the whole Provincial Executive Council, MECs, visited various sites. The concern is the same, is that there are not enough. We have a lot of vaccination sites. There are not enough people arriving at those sites. And that is why we are combining this with mobilization. We are doing door-to-door work. We are going to various communities. But I know that once we open for the 18-year-olds and above, our province, we have over 5 million of the 18 to 34-year-olds. A lot of them are saying they are ready, we need to open for them, but we still will ensure that we reach the elderly people who are more vulnerable. We want to understand those who are not coming out. What are their concerns? We also want to get the message to them. My message to all of them is that vaccines do save lives.
And talking about...
We have seen that. We have seen that
Yes.
with our healthcare workers.
Yes. Yes, Premier, I just want to know, with regards to the 18-year-olds, though, are you expecting to open before time?
Look, we have been talking with the National Minister, Dr. Joe Phaahla. He has been talking with the National Coronavirus Command Council about the fact that in many provinces, we are a youthful province as Gauteng. We are a very youthful province. The 18-year-olds and to 34 are saying they are ready. It's a very good thing, you know, when you have people who say we want to take the vaccine. It means our message has got to them. We shouldn't delay too much before they get their vaccines, because vaccines do help, because that's really what we want. We have enough vaccines now. We want those vaccines to go onto the arm. We want the jabs to go onto the arm of people. We don't want vaccines to be there, vaccination sites to be empty. So I'm saying to the 18-year-olds, 18 to 34, we have heard you. This message has now been received. All the preparations are being done. I will be very happy the day we vaccinate the 18-year-olds and above in our province, because they are a big group.
Thank you very much, Premier.
Thank you.
Speaking to the Premier Makura there, talking to us about the fact that they are going to be ramping up the outreach with regards to some of the people that have not been vaccinating. He's saying earlier on, he was just talking about the fact that the province is even considering going as far as even giving awards to places where perhaps councillors could have had more numbers than others. So he said he waits for the time when there can be a derby between Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs as well, where people who are vaccinated can be allowed to go in. So he says there's some outreach programs that they are looking for, and of course just saying that he can't wait until they start with the over 18-year-olds.
All right, thank you for that. That's eNCA's Nqobile Madlala updating us on the situation in as far as the COVID-19 vaccinations in the province of Gauteng are concerned.